Kun je je vraag herhalen? Je viel net uit. This is Clinton at stage 1. Am I supposed to wait for the guard before leaving all equipment?
We are a little bit international, in fact. Just arrived, we speak local English. It's Nico from Switzerland. There's Andy from Austria. This is Serena Tangels, our main speaker today, from Bielefeld, Germany, Big Brother Awards.
And this is Brandenburg, also from Bielefeld, Germany.
Okay. So we have half an hour normally, but I tested the meal yesterday and I think we can make it over.
So if you don't want to have dinner, you can just stay. Okay. Some people expect us to have the ceremony tonight with when the awards are given to those who deserve it, but this is not to be. We will just do a presentation of the Big Brother Awards to spread the idea, and we ask you for proposals for nominations in the different categories and for different countries. And the idea of the Big Brother Awards is spreading fast. It emerged in 1998 in Great Britain. The idea was from Simon Davis, Privacy International, and who's also teaching at the London School of Economics in London. And he did this the first time in 1998, and in 1999 it was also in the States, in Canada, and in Austria. And in 2000, Germany joined, and Switzerland, and also France. And meanwhile, many more countries are preparing Big Brother Awards. For instance, Hungary is going to do it soon, and also the Netherlands. And there is Maurice Wessling. You have seen him maybe on a panel for a few times already today. And he will set up the Big Brother Awards in the Netherlands.
Now we have to do it.
Okay, about the idea. The Big Brother Award is a negative prize. It's something like the Oscar for what's on a negative basis for companies, for corporations, for politicians, and for organizations that do most harm to privacy. And this can have very different forms. It could be surveillance by video cameras or tapping the phone, or monitoring the locations, for instance, by monitoring the location of mobile phones. But it can also be something very simple and silly, and which does not seem very dangerous, like loyalty cards. And you give little bits of information to people, and you think, I don't care, who knows what orange juice I prefer, this is not really important. But when a lot of data, this data is being combined with other data, and databases tend to be merged, then it tends to get a problem. And we think the awareness should be raised in the population about this. In the economy, people think that the rate of people who are aware of there is a problem about security, about privacy, and data protection is about 10%. This is not very much, but at least there is something. And in the economy, people also think that in future this rate might go up to 20% in the next 2 or 3 years. And with that, it gets a portion that people have to listen to. And we are working very strictly on making this bigger and bigger, so we can have influence in different ways. Like we want to have influence on how laws are made and in which direction. We want to have influence on the privacy policies of companies and on the actual surveillance that is taking place and how the data is being processed. And we think the Big Brother awards are something like giving a worst practice example. There are many more companies we could have nominated, but we give you, with those we have been given the award, we try to give you an idea of what we think is important. And maybe we should give you some examples of the different categories.
Of course. We have 5 categories?
No, 7.
7 categories. I'm sorry. This is business and finance. This means, of course, companies who just working for money. Most companies do that. There we have in Germany.
Oh, that was our main winner. It was Payback.
Oh yes, it was Payback.
Okay, we start with that.
Perhaps you have seen this before in any kind. In Germany, it's famous. People, 18 million people have such card in their pocket. And if you buy something, you in some different shops, or you go to beer and fill gas into your card, you can put this card also on the cashier, and it beeps, and you get 1%
discount. But you don't get it at once, but it will be booked later on your bank account. So you have to give your address and your bank account number in order to get the discount. And otherwise you could give any address or name, but so they make you do it right.
They make you transparent, because everything you buy and get a discount, they know. And this is of course very funny, because people like to let other people play with going shopping and spend money. So it's wonderful, and people just only do going shopping and spending money, and so many fun and having cards. It works. And
there are more problems about these loyalty cards than just the privacy. they tell you that you get a discount, but in fact it's the other way around. Everyone who does not take this card has to pay more than before. So they press you into using it. And with food, the marge is very small. What a shop gets for selling you milk, it's some cents maybe, and so they can't really give away another cent from that. So they have to put it on top of the price, and so it gets more expensive for everyone in order that people can play around with these discount cards and have them self-manipulated. In Germany they have tried different things like there's a shop and they're not one of the partner shops. Not so many people go there shopping, so they send out a mailing to all people who hold this card and say go shopping there next week and you get 100 points extra.
100 points is...
1 marks 96. When you have been driving your car for 20 kilometers to get there, the gas costs more, I think, than you get in points. But the data they get from that, because at the cashier you show your card, they have a very good database of people who are easy to manipulate after that. And when they have stored 5 years of your purchases, there are much more possibilities to get information out of that. Think about you have bought an alarm clock. Maybe a week before you bought sugar, very fine, the powdery stuff, and maybe you got some fertilizer for your garden.
Oh, you got it?
Well, next time a terrorist is being looked for who manufactured a bomb himself, maybe you get into the closer panel to be nominated by the police. So, as soon as there is a database with all these information, there will be people who will be eager to use it. Whether it's allowed or whether it's in the participants, in the privacy policy, it doesn't matter. As soon as a database with this quality exists, people will like to use it.
Umberto, do you remember, that was your business?
Well, Migros is the biggest retailer in Switzerland, but they have a similar system, but they were in the close range of nominees, but they didn't get a prize at the end. It was on the business side in Switzerland, it was Roche. And Roche is one of the biggest chemical and medical plants in Switzerland. And they have their employees. They need to pee in boxes every 3 months, and that is screened. And if they find any traces of drugs whatsoever, you are get pushed in a rehabilitation program, stuff like that. So, and how you say there, Datenschutzbeauftragte. It's a person that surveils these practices by law. He has to look that certain things don't happen, things like that. And he told them to stop this because it's not allowed, and they just proceed.
Andy, who got the financial prize? Just for example,
in Austria, we have a big electronic concern called Saturn. Many shops you can buy with your bank card, pay with the bank card. The problem is if you turn around your you find some information that you give away the permission that they may use your data. You get by paying with this card, and we do with them what they like. The problem is when you pay with that and read that, you already gave them the permission, and you can't read any information otherwise where they say that they do that. So if you do it, you already gave them the permission, and you don't have any clue about that you do it because you informed after you gave the permission, and that's the problem. So if some people decide, oh, they may have my data and they should do what they like, okay, that's no problem, but if they don't inform the people, that's the problem. And that's what they didn't like, and so they got surprised.
Thank you very much. In the other categories, we have politics, of course, because government is always a wonderful nominee for this prize. Public services and administration, communication. There's also a lifetime award for people who are...
For the lifetime achievements.
And in Germany, we also made a regional award because it's very good for the local press that they have a local example, local issue, and they write more about you. And also we made in Germany a scene award for people like you and me, because we think it's very important that the Nobel Prizes is very good to understand for standard people. I don't say normal people, I say standard people. And for all people who don't know the word or things like this.
So we designed another scene award for those people who know, and this was one that got most discussion in the scene because the nomination was
Apache. The log files of Apache server.
It was the standard the default configuration of the Apache web server. Because 99% of the people don't ever change a default setting. And this default setting does store much too much data. People don't really need for running a web server. And with that, it tends to be dangerous. And we had a lot of discussions saying, why didn't you make a nomination for Microsoft? And we said, it's too easy, you all know they're bad guys anyway. And we want you to think yourself. And we had really good discussions with people who said, there are much worse things happening, and I know something, and I will write a program to find out this and that. And in that way, we also want to ask you for proposals for nominations for the awards. Because we need your help, we need your inside knowledge. You might be programming for a bad company, or
nominate your boss.
Or you might be programming with your company for a terrible customer, or you might have had some experience with data getting lost, or people putting you under pressure because they got knowledge on you, which might be even wrong, but they think that they know something about you. So we're here to ask you for nominations and for information, for background information. We can continue to give you some more examples what we have been nominating. Maybe what else did you have in Switzerland?
Well, we had just the 5 categories. We didn't have a regional award and we didn't have a scene award. But on the military side, but that's mostly basically the same as the state award. It could be the military award. We had the Swiss. It's the military agency. It's the ministry that covers military, secret police, and sports. Don't ask me why the sports are getting into the military thing, but it's just like that in Switzerland. And they run their own satellite spy infrastructure, which they say it's not linked to Echelon, but you never know, of course. And they can intercept radio wave communication and maybe even like email and electronic communication. But of course, you wouldn't get details out of that. But well, it's made public that it's being funded, so they get 3 to 5 million Swiss francs every year just for that spy thing. So the money that is put into that program is being made public by law. So you just know that.
Okay.
In Austria, we had one political party.
Which one?
You can read it at at the website. Then we had standard premium who tries to put in some spy technology into the GSM and other standards, so they can get a little bit more information from you. And if I remember right, we got one political person for the lifetime event, and we had the fifth one. It was I didn't remember. Have a look at the website. You will find them all there, from this and from last year, because we had it 2 times, 2000 and 99. This year you will find it after this year's party, but from last year and the year before. I hope you will find some nominees for this year, not for our country, for your country, because it may be possible that you make something like that in your country.
Okay, so I'll just lose one more word about communication and mobile phone using. The business award in Switzerland last year got to Swisscom. Swisscom is the biggest Swiss telco provider, and they got their award for they ping their mobile phone users every 3 hours, and they locate the exact position. On which antenna you are logged in. They know the address of that antenna, and they log that position into your customer file, and they keep that information stored. So if any policeman is chasing you down, they can ask Swisscom, and they get detailed profiles where you have been logged in with your mobile phone. They tried to sue us because they said it's not true. They don't store that information, things like that. But 6 months later, they started a program for the young mobile phone users. You can now locate your friend with SMS. So you can write to the SMS center, and they give you the exact position of some other mobile phone user up to 100 meters exact.
That's amazing.
No, it's based. You have to permit, but it's a matter of 2 minutes. So if I write you an SMS and ask you for permission, you just have to reply that, and then you allow me to do that. So if you leave your mobile phone somewhere for 5 minutes and don't look at it, I could easily permit it. So allow me to track you down. So it's based on permission, so that the ministry that overlooks this, they can't say they can't do that, because they say, it's your decision if you use the service, but basically you can't really control it.
We have.
Well, you get the exact address of the antenna where the mobile phone is logged in, and in the city of Zurich, there's a mobile phone antenna on every second building, so you get pretty exact positions.
We had a similar nomination in Germany. This was for the political side. It was Eckhard Gettbach from Berlin, because in their shopping list they had IMSI catcher, and this is to tap mobile phones, and they had this in the shopping list for the government there. And in fact, this technology is not allowed in Germany at all. And we got this shopping list, and because they had this nomination, the other authorities got to know about this, and I think they are in big trouble now, because we found out what they are going to do. The problem with IMSI catcher is that you don't only tap one specific phone, but you can also listen to all other mobile phones nearby, and of people who are not suspect of anything. And so this technology is not allowed in Germany at all.
I think a good idea for nomination is organization team of HAL 2001, because of they monitor all the toilets. I think I will ask Maurice to nominate. In Germany, we had also a nomination for an executive prize for GMX because they did. Yes. Stop. No.
Yeah. Do you know the favorite sports? The exam, sehr Schulabschluss, and the plans for the next holiday of your target group, Mr. Cohen. He's the chief of one of the big TV stations. And behind what you can't really read says no, but we do. Because potential users in Germany of the biggest email service fill in a form while then logging in that is very specific. We have questions about age, married or not, occupation, branch, hobbies, interests, finance, telecommunication, and so on. So you can really find numerous, diverse target groups. You can select them really fine. And you could find, for example, the 35-year-old cinema fan who has an A-level and who is going on weekends for skiing. And it's not really very expensive to pay for advertising in GMX. This was an advert in marketing in a marketing magazine.
You see, you can make a self-nomination as a company.
This was an ad by the company themselves, and we thought this is really great. We take this as a self-nomination.
Meanwhile, we heard that
they said that they were the only, they reacted and they said, nice idea with this award, but we are not the bad ones. We don't sell the data, you know. We just play some AdWords to you when you log in at GMX. Meanwhile, I've heard they would deserve this award much more this year because they have started to sell the data. And they ask all users now to complete their forms, who hasn't done yet, about the address and the hobbies, etc., etc. And if you don't complete the form, they threaten to kick you out. They haven't done yet because they really need the address data. And so they might deserve it again, but we are also looking for new nominations.
Of course, it's not a free mail company, it's an advertising company, a marketing company. You always have to think about it when you get a free mail. There are no free mailers, perhaps in an anarchistic issue, but not in a commercial issue. This is always marketing, and they want you. And every data about a person.
You pay in a different currency. This is the point. You don't get anything for free. You pay in a different currency.
And on the stock market, every personal data is checked by I think $500, 500 marks. Also it's a very good. You can deal with information. People do it, and they don't think about it. Behind the information, then you are just slaves for the industry.
This is another well-known. Das funktioniert auch wunderbar.
Die sind einfach gut hier in der Organisation.
The prize for public services went to the German Deutsche
Bahn AG.
Deutsche Bahn AG, NIBA, for their new program called 3S. 3S is for service, security, and
Sicherheit.
Sauberkeit. Cleanliness. This means they have this video surveillance and they can check the waste paper baskets from the monitor, whether they have to send someone to empty the waste paper baskets. And the service is they can tell you about the timetable sometimes, and the security, of course. They want to get everyone out of the train station who does not look like they have much money to buy a ticket and buy some goods and then leave very fast.
There's a special event of video monitoring and tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, tomorrow at like 2 o'clock, I think. I will speak there together with another group of Germany. We will mainly speak about video surveillance and what is being made with that video data. So every time you walk on the street and see a camera, we will explain what happens with behind that. And, sadly, you can't just do that.
Maybe you wondered about the Lifetime Award, what the lifetime achievement might be. This means a person or organization has been working for a very, very long time on hurting privacy. And in Germany we have chosen das Ausländerzentralregister. This is a central database on all people who are not German but resident in Germany. And in this database there are kept usually just the negative records about you. When you have dodged a fare at the bus, when you didn't get a work permit, things like that, but it doesn't say he's a nice guy, he works this and that, and he pays his loan on a regular basis, and his rent. And so we thought this register exists since the 1950s, and it's in a tradition of the Third Reich, and it has also been operating in other countries. It was Norway or Sweden, I think, and when the German army went into this country, they had much more easy work to get out people of other nationalities and put them into concentration camps. And that's why we have decided this database is really a governmental discrimination of people. And this exists since the 1950s, and that's why they got the Lifetime Award.
Is there somebody from a country where no Big Brother award exists? From which country do you come? Luxembourg, and you? Also,
As well.
Oh, two people from. Say hello to each other. You're a new organization. You should organize a domain, bigbrotherawards.
Luxembourg?
Blue, L-U, yeah. And you should find, I think it's very important to find more people, some more organization, and it's very important to get other people together.
And
involved. Because when it's only organization in the country, and this will help that you get more.
A more broad basis. We think it's important to have in the jury and as supporting organizations a variety of people. And in the jury of the Big Brother Award in Germany is also the Chaos Computer Club. And there is someone who works officially for data protection and privacy in the county of Schleswig-Holstein. We have a lawyer with us, which is very helpful. And
the fifth.
And two other organizations, one called FITUC and the other called FIF. And we think this is important to be taken serious and also to have different competence together. And we encourage you to also have a broad basis when you organize that. When we had this first Big Brother Award on, the company who runs the Payback loyalty card, they said to some journalists, oh, we don't care about this award, you know, in 1 month no one will talk about that, no one will remember this. And they were so wrong. People still keep phoning us every 1 or 2 weeks and ask for more background information on these cards. And look at this. This is the press coverage of just one event in a small town in Germany. And we had even papers like Neue Zürcher Zeitung, which is a respected international paper, and Le Monde from France. A German journalist from Paris came especially for this event to Germany. And so we had very big coverage also in news magazines and even in the news on the television. And I think this company is shocked how much effect this award got. And maybe next time we have the nominees also coming to the event, because it would be much better to talk with us, and we could give them ideas what would change or what they could correct if they are willing to. Maybe some can't, because the idea of the whole business is something that can't really be combined with our idea of civil rights, but we have to fight it out.
Yes, and if you want to know more, you can type in your URL, www.bigbrotherawards. And then the country, or DE for Germany, and L for the Netherlands. There you don't find something? Or you
Not
can-
yet, no. It's CH for Switzerland and HU for Hungary, and you will find information.
Or .org, and you find or net or things
And
like
in real life, while you're still at hell, you can come to the nice little yellow striped tent next to the radio tent of Space Station 5. And we can have a lot more talks, and maybe you have some ideas for new awards, and you're welcome.
Thank you very much.